Now, going back to the different sizes and shapes that you see, now is the 4C characteristics, are there different, I would say, theories or different ways to look at the 4Cs based off of how each diamond or each size diamond, like does the 4Cs, the characteristics in a round, are they different than a cushion or an Asher shape? Or are you still looking at exactly the same thing? And how does that kind of look?
Yeah, so when it comes to round, that's actually a very good question. When it comes to round stones, one of the C's is clarity.
Yeah.
So a round stone, because it has so many facets, and so it has a table, and then down from the table, it has many, many facets.
Yeah.
So what that does is it helps to hide the imperfection. So in a round stone, you can actually get a lot more bang for your buck because you can go down in clarity quite a bit because you're not really going to see that imperfection. But if you're going for emerald cut or radiant, most of the diamond is the table that you're seeing from the top, and it's flat. The same thing with the princess cut. Same thing with the Asher cut. So there's not really too many fancy shapes that are sold that are SR2 or I1 clarity. It's mainly VS. So you're going to pay more for a fancy shape than you would need to pay for a round stone because you don't want to buy a radiant cut just because your lady wants a radiant cut and you have a certain budget and she wants a bigger stone. You're not going to get an SR2 or R1 because then she's going to be walking. She's going to get it, and then she's going to notice something in the middle because she's going to be looking at it forevermore until she finds something. So I never sell anything that's eye visible. I only sell the diamonds that you cannot see that imperfection. Doesn't matter even if you got my experience, you're not going to see that imperfection unless you take out a loop. So so you get a lot more bang for your buck for a round stone. Now, also a cushion cut has a lot of facets. So it has the table, but it has a lot of facets. So that's very similar to a round. And so you actually can get a SR2 clarity or I1 clarity, and your lady's not going to be able to see any imperfections from looking down.
Wow. So I never would have thought about that. That makes so much sense, though. The more cuts, the more
facets.
The more facets, the more you can hide.
Yes.
Because the way that the light hits, it just becomes so much more difficult to really see the imperfections the way that the angles are created in the diamond.
And that's white imperfections. Now, if it's black imperfections, even if you have a lot of facets, you're going to be able to see it. Especially if it's in the middle of the stone, like on the table. So what we do, we try to sell mainly, if it's to make it eye clean, we only sell diamonds with white imperfections.
I have heard that. Can you dive deeper into that, though? Can you tell the difference of black imperfections and white imperfections? Like, what is that? Yeah,
there's black PK and there's white PK. So that's how we speak in the like dealers lingo. So white PK, you're not going to see, which is white clarity inside the stone, or imperfections. It's a lot harder to see that with your naked eye from looking at it from the top than you're going to be able to see the black PK or the black clarity. And so you're not going to find, especially in the chain stores, you're not going to find too many diamonds that have the black clarity because they want everything to look eye clean. And and then there are stores out there that they have a stone that's maybe whatever the size, like a 3-carat FVS2, that's a emerald cut or radiant cut, and it's got a black clarity, and they're giving you 20 or 30% less than everyone else is charging you in the stores, but they're not telling you that it's got the black clarity, and they're not telling you that eventually your girlfriend or your fiance or wife is going to be able to see it.
Interesting. Yeah. I've actually seen that. When Luke's shopping diamonds, I've seen the black imperfections in that, but I didn't know.
And you saw it just without a loop?
Without a loop. I was looking obviously very closely with like an eyeglass and looking at the diamond itself.
Oh, so you were using a loop?
Oh, is that what that's called? Loop?
Yeah, loop.
That?
Yeah,
Oh,
loop.
gotcha.
Yeah, eyeglass.
So I was, yeah, I was the single one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I was using that and I was looking at it and I was able to see, but that was like really in there.
Yeah, yeah. But you were looking at it's 10 power. So you're making it 10 times more bigger for you
Okay.
to see it. But without the loop, could you see the black?
See that diamond when I was looking at it, I remember one very distinctly. I had two diamonds. They were both 3 carats. And the one was like a yellowish tint. It had more of a yellowish blue tint to it. And that one is the one that had a black imperfection. It was just a bad diamond altogether. I think.
Yeah.
It had a tint to it. It had the black imperfection. Of course, the price was amazing,
Yeah,
probably,
of course.
but
Yeah, because they can't sell it.
yeah. But then compared to the other one looked like it was like crystal clear. It was really amazing. So yeah, I could really tell. And then maybe they were just doing that so that this one looked really good and I bought
Oh,
this
yeah,
one.
of course.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it always takes 2 or 3 stones to sell 1 stone.
yeah. Well, and that's another interesting fact that you brought up too. They do, and I think it's always it's like a game of illusion. You're trying to figure out what diamond is the best, but then they're giving you one that's really bad so that this one looks really good. And then you have to think about the cuts too, because if you
Yeah.
get a round shape or something, now it's going to look always kind of better because of so many different angles.
Yeah.
So that's a hard game to play.
Yeah, and I don't play that game. When I have a client, I only show them the best.
Yeah.
I don't have a shitty one there just to like make the other ones look much better.
But I
have
think-
the best of the best.
I think people run into that. I think that does happen.
Oh yeah, of course, especially when the jeweler wants to, or the dealer, or online when they need to sell what they've been given,
Yeah.
and a lot of it's on consignment. And if they don't sell what they've been given, then the consignment, the suppliers are going to pull the products, so they'll push anything, which is sad, you know. But there are good jewelers out there that will be honest and they'll say, stay away from this, you know, go for this, it's better. But like I said, with us, we only show you the best.